Hello, Born Review Music, Gabe,
Nick,
and we are here today to bring you another song reaction, fresh off the presses. And my man Nick does it again. He loves to find like the most obscure bands that no one's ever heard of.
No one's ever heard of. They've been around since 1977. No one's ever heard of them?
I read the title. Is the name Dire Straits or if it's Sultans of Swing?
Dire Straits is the band name.
Okay. In the chat, be honest. Let us know how many people have heard of Dire Straits. I'll wait.
Okay, first of all, what the thing that you're not thinking about is the people that are clicking on this video is because they probably like this song and they want to see a reaction. So of course they're gonna all say, "Of course I know Dire Straits."
You may have a point there, Cotton. You're factually correct. But I'm just saying, it's not in like, okay, even though I did not know last person that had heard the song Van Halen, I've heard of Van Halen, right? It's in the lexicon of pop culture.
You've at least heard the phrase Dire Straits. Like, I'm in Dire Straits.
Yeah, I've heard the phrase.
You heard them.
But again, when we're talking about Metallica, okay, I had heard of Metallica. You know, when you're talking about, what's the name of that other band, that you put in, I had heard the name of the band, but did not know. Obviously, everybody heard of the Beatles. But when sometimes you bring out these bands, and to your point, some of them are great, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then sometimes I'm like, like, you know what I mean? You know what you will love? I had a student just this week on with a Gorillaz t-shirt, and I'm like, bro, you 14, like, and he was like, oh, you don't know this is underground, Miss Lara. You
underground. They shut your mouth.
That's what he told me. He's like, it's underground, like that. You know what I mean? It's
okay. Do they go to the underground after they hit mainstream? Shut your mouth. So Dire Straits is a British rock band, of course.
Okay.
Some of the great ones are from England. They formed in 1977, and I don't think they're still going. Let's see. Yeah, they went from 90. They went back 90 to 95. So many members from the past, but it's basically the Knopflers. Brothers that were the creators of the band.
Okay.
And so they have a lot of hits. I'm not going to say I know them all. I know several of them. And this one is Sultans of Swing.
Okay.
Now, Joey and I had a discussion about this song because it got brought up in a different video. And I'm like, you've heard that song. And I started singing it. You know how good I can sing. And she's like, never heard of it. So I played it for her. She never heard the song before, which blew my mind. Because I feel like this, no matter who you are, you had to have heard this song. It's such a great song. So I'm curious to see how you feel about this song.
If Jody never heard of it, I can almost guarantee you there's no way I heard it. I can almost guarantee you there's no way I heard it.
I think you are overestimating her depth of music knowledge. She knows music, but she knows her music. So we're going to check this out for the first time. He's going to check it out for the first time. I've listened to it a million times, obviously. If you like it in any way, our reaction, don't forget to
like and subscribe.
And as he thinks about how he wants to go back and not say what he said before.
I said what I said.
He does not care.
No apologies.
Here we go.
You get a shiver in the dark. It's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places, but the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south, way on down south, London town. Check out Guitar George, he knows all the chords. Mine is strictly rhythm, he doesn't want to make it cry or sing. gets up under the lights to play his thing. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job, he's doing alright. He can play the honky-tonk like anything, saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. Microphone says it lasts just as the time bell rings. Good night, now it's time to go home. Then he makes it fast with one more thing. We are the Sultans, we are the Sultans of Swing.
No, don't stop there. It keeps going. Why did it stop right there? Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, that's the end, but there's just keeps going with the little guitar. Oh, bummer. Not my fault. They always think I edit things out. Not my fault. What'd you think?
I loathe you.
Because you loved it.
I loathe you. Yeah. I've never heard it before though.
Never?
But,
oh man.
Dude, this is probably one of my favorite easy listening rock songs. Like
easy listening.
I already know.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it on as I'm grading papers in the background or whatever. Like
yes.
And oh, I love you know what it reminds me? Remember when we were arguing about like years ago? We were in the cafeteria and we were arguing about something. Cause I hate being wrong. And we were arguing about some baseball stat. And you're like, I know this for a fact. And I was like, you're absolutely wrong, bro. And you pulled it up on the phone. I'm like, I loathe you. That's not feeling right now. I just loathe you. But I will say, man, like, and this will be something that again, when you say, you want to take that back? No. Was it like a one-hit wonder? Because his voice is amazing, the band is amazing. So why isn't it like why doesn't the name ring out? Right? Why do I feel like okay? Because again, even though I can tell you a Rolling Stones a song, I've heard of the Rolling Stones. Okay. I've heard of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've heard of what's the other band? That I was like, oh yeah, that's like in the 70s and 80s. It was
Queen?
No, of course. Everybody heard Queen because of at least here in America because of
Bohemian Rhapsody
and because of Wayne's World. But it's like, why did they like not because dude, I love his voice and it's so like were they him wonder or is it just maybe they came out at a time where they were overshadowed by I could think that's the only thing I think like so many bands came out in that 70s era that you really had to be, in my opinion, top notch to be like, you know what I mean? Like upper echelon.
Well, I can't fully answer that question, but one thing I think is cool is this song came from their self-titled debut album and it hit top 10 U.S. and UK. So they hit the ground running. But that was in 1978. 1985, they had an album, Brothers in Arms. Sold more than 30 million copies worldwide. So definitely not a one-hit wonder. That was 7 years later. It's the 8th best-selling album in the UK history. And then Dire Straits, the band, had spent over 1,100 weeks on the UK albums charts, 5th most of all time.
Wow.
So definitely not a one-hit wonder. But if you look at their years active, 77 to 88, then came back 90 to 95. They weren't really together for that long. That's like, 15, 16, 17 years. And so that might answer the question. Again, I'm not going to say British bands don't travel well to the States, because obviously they do, but I think just that in itself, maybe, who knows. But 30 million copies of one album. I didn't know they had an album that sold that much worldwide. His voice to me is amazing. And
I love it.
I love how you said easy listening, because this song to me is such an easy listening, such a tap your foot, enjoyable song.
And I'm trying to sit here and show no reaction because inside I'm seething. And I was like, as I'm listening, but man, that melody there. And now I got to listen to the full version, because you can tell, you told me it keeps going.
Just at the very end.
That guitar solo that he gave in the middle, where it was very it almost reminded me of the Eagles, you know what I mean? Where it was just very, oh man, that guitar solo was mesmerizing. And I'm sitting here thinking, I hate him, shoe. But dude, awesome. It's an additive. Oh my gosh, I hate you. Oh, it's an additive. I'll be using it while I grade this week. Thank you very much for that, because I need some new music to put on in the background. But another thing is, if it's not, and I hate to say pop culture, but really realistically, when we talk about pop culture, it's like what most things that make it pop culture is when something else grabs onto it. So whether it's because they're in a movie or associated or tied to something, you know what I mean? Like I think that's sometimes where, it blows up to the mainstream, where even people, because again, and you guys have been watching for a while, no, I did not grow up listening to rock at all, right? I was born in the Caribbean, right? But I grew up in New York, and it was either Spanish music, salsa, merengue, bachata, or it was rap, Bronx, New York, where rap was born. That was pretty much it. And then for me, the very first time I ever even heard of rock was when I heard Nirvana. Like, Nirvana was like, oh my gosh, Kurt Cobain, which, if you guys don't remember, another embarrassing thing I said that I said.
Aren't they as good as Nirvana?
Nirvana's
great. It's got its place in history, absolutely.
I think I might have said greatest rock band of all time, greatest song of all time. I'm still stuck between greatest song of all time. Right now, rock song, it's got to be Metallica 1 or Master of Puppets. Dude, I go back and forth. Those are two of my favorite tracks. I listen to it every time.
Battling out in his head.
Every time I'm in the gym, I listen to those two. And I mean, it's sometimes no. And I'll text him randomly, on a Saturday, just got at the gym. Incorrect. I was wrong. Master of Puppets is the greatest. It's a masterpiece, greatest of all time. Then the very next week, nope, I retract my previous statement. Metallica 1 is the greatest of all time. So I mean, it's but again, that is also, even though I wasn't a Metallica fan at the time, I had heard of the band Metallica. I just had never heard of this band. So that's why I'm like, oh, you bought something obscure. You know what's funny though? That band that you, what is not the Pit? What's his name? He's got that amazing voice. It's bothering me right now. He's got the funny move in the
Smiths.
The Smiths. I didn't realize that the Smiths' music was in a few movies I had watched.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, that's the Smiths. So now I could recognize them. I think it was it was a British film actually. From what's that director? The guy that did Snatch. Lock, Stock, and Barrels.
Yeah.
And I love watching old time films. I big movie buff or whatever. And I was like, oh wow, that's the Smiths. So I guess maybe more of them did break through, and I just did not realize it. But I was like, the Smiths. It was the same thing as this. Who are the Smiths?
Well,
and I love that band too now.
The really cool thing is when you've seen a movie a bunch of times, and you've heard it, but you didn't really pay attention to it, and then you hear it, and you get the name of the band. Oh, yeah, it's a great song. I listened to them forever. I had no idea. One thing I will say that I never noticed, even though I've heard this song a million times, was how much his voice reminds me of Bob Dylan. Not exactly the same, but very, very similar in a way, which is kind of cool. But let us know what you think about our reaction to this, but also let us know, do you want us to react to some more Dire Straits songs? I'm always trying to get into react to new stuff, But it's what you guys want. If you guys don't care, we'll move on to something else. But like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time.
We know all things.